This is Stephanie Washer, and this is for my Cisco classes. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the basic router configuration. If you saw the basic switch configuration, I'm going to show you a quick, easy way. So this is the actual switch configuration, and I saved it. I did file save as, and I named it R1 basic. And so all we're going to do is we're going to change the host name. Everything else is the same. And then we are using what I did here, that's going to pop up in the background here, is I'm just going to undo it, I guess. We're going to connect this to G001, and it's connected, I believe, into the first port down here, into Fast Ethernet 01 down there. Just so that you know, when you click, highlight over it, there it shows you. It shows you all the ports. So, but I just wanted to show you. And then we have, so service password encryption, we've got our host name, we've got our enable secret, disabling DNS, domain name, admin user, the RSA, default gateway, the banner. Now we're going to do interface. So it's going to be interface, and it was G01. And it's not IP address 192, it's 192.168.1.1. And then we're going to do no shut. We're going to keep all of this the same. And if there's anything else to add, I'll show you in a little bit. But so far, I believe that's it. But I'm going to do each one of them individually. I'm not going to blow it all in there. So this is the router. I'm going to make this bigger so we can all see it. And as in the switch video, we're not going to enter the configuration dialog. We're going to press enter to return to get going. Sorry, my throat's dry and I'm just trying to keep it from coughing. So what we're going to do is we're going to configure the router just like we did the basic settings on the switch. The only difference is on the switch video, I showed you how to do the initial configuration. And all you do is you can erase your start. Or remember I showed you, so you hit erase startup, or you do WR space E to erase it, and you can confirm it. Now you would reload it, but I'm not going to take the time. Well, I can do it. I can hit reload. Because it doesn't, in Packet Tracer, it's not like it is in real time. So we'll let it do its thing real quick. And then, so you can actually have in Notepad all of your different texts, commands that you need, and you can just copy them in there. We do not allow that for the hands-on final. So if you do the hands-on final in person, we do not allow that. Okay, so back to the initial configuration dialog. We will do, no. We do not want to enter the configuration dialog. It's just annoying. That's all there is to it. We're just going to configure what we want to configure. So with the router, we're going to go into privilege exec mode and then global config mode. So we typed in enable, we typed in configure terminal, we hit enter both times, and now we're in global config mode. And so the first thing that I always do, it's host name, and we're going to do R1. Changed. Then we're going to disable DNS, which is no IP domain dash lookup. I always put the dash in the wrong spot, so I pause because I always want to put it after the P. So no IP space domain dash lookup. And then we're going to do the domain name information. So that would be IP domain dash name. And then we're just using rvc.com. So I'm going to do the exact same information from switch 1 so that it configures. So we are gonna, sorry for that. We are gonna, I'm leaving it in there. I'm not editing this video. So we're gonna make sure that we have all of these configured so that they look good. Now, let's do IP domain name rvc.com. Let's do the username admin. Oop. And then we've got our password as class. So we're using that same username and password. We're going to do service password encryption to encrypt our passwords. So here we go. We've got our host name. We've got disabling DNS. We added our domain name. We created a admin user with a password. And this is a, if you were to look in Cisco terms, it's, you're creating a administrative user in a local database. And then we have our, encrypting our passwords so that they're not shown as plain text on the screen. Now, let's see. We're going to do our crypto key generate. RSA, general. I'm just going to do general key again. Modulus, but it wants us to do 1024. At least that's what I'm stating. That's been enabled. And most of this information is coming from the Cisco 2 hands-on lab. Let's see. What else should we, banner message of the day, MOTD. And then we're going to use keep out. The only reason I use keep out is because it's short. There we go. And then we can do the interfaces now. So we can configure the IP address on G001. And, another thing that they do is we have to create a loopback a lot of the time. So we need to create a loopback, and then I will add that to this as well. Let's see. Oh, we got to set the console and the telnet passwords. I knew I was forgetting something. So linecon 0 for setting telnet. And we're setting the console password. And we're going to do password class. And then I like to do the logging synchronous here so that it will put you on a new line when the router starts updating the interfaces. So when we hit no shut, it can cut us off part of the way. Or as routers are communicating with each other, it can give us messages. And especially with you when you're in debug, this is very, very important. Logging synchronous. Very important to your own sanity is what I say. And then login. So you need to, for sure, remember linecon 0, and then you want password and whatever the password is, but I use class for here, and then login. Those are the basic commands for that. I added logging synchronous because I like when it updates, it puts me on a new line. And then let's do telnet or SSH. So line BTY04. So we're going to turn on SSH, and we're going to do login local. So it'll log in with our username and password, and transport input SSH. And then we're done. That's it for that. And then what we'll do is we are going to do the interfaces now. And notice I didn't exit out. I can just keep going. So interface, so intg 0/0/1. Remember, that's our first one. And now we're going to go into interface mode and see how it changed from line to if for interface mode. And we're going to use the IP address 192.168.1.1 to match what we had in the switch video. And we're going to do 255.255.0 for the subnet mask. And it's important to have the correct subnet mask. If you don't, you're not going to be able to communicate with anybody. So you would look at what you have on your chart, or if you're configuring a subnetting scenario, you would have it all charted out yourself. So interface G001, that's our IP address with the subnet mask. That is our full command. And then we always type in no shut. And notice it put me on a clean line, so we like that. And now the other one that we always, not always, but that Cisco has us do a lot is we create a loopback to kind of simulate the internet. So, and it's just interface and an LO0 for loopback. And the loopback automatically pops up, but we want to put an IP address on it. And we always put like a weird IP address on there. It's going to be something like an outside address, but I think I'm just going to put in, I don't know, I'm just going to make up something. And we always use like a 209 in Cisco. And I'm just going to make it up. 29165 10.1. That's what I'm going to use. Oops, I forgot the subnet mask. I hit enter too quickly. And the loopback's already up. You don't have to type in no shut, but I always type in no shut just to get in to the feel of it. No shut is the thing that students forget the most. And then they wonder why they're, Control Z. So they wonder why their interfaces aren't working. So there's two commands that I'm going to show you real quick. Show run. And show run takes you through all of the commands that you put in, and you can see every single command we put in. Let me go back up. There's our banner. We don't have to worry about the interface VLAN 1 information on here. We've got our gigabit 001 interface. We got our loopback, domain name. We did the no DNS lookup, our host name, and then our encryption. So we have everything pretty much taken care of in that. And then the other one is show IP INT brief. And we can see our gigabit, and I abbreviated that really. So show IP interface brief is the full command, but I abbreviated it. So we've got our gigabit 001, the IP address, and we set that statically so it's up and up. That's good. We want to see that. And our loopback, we set the IP address, and then again, that's good, up and up. If it was down, then we would just have to go back in. So if it's administratively down, you might want to hit no shut. You might want to go back into that interface and type in no shut. And so that's everything. The other thing is at the end, and I didn't show you this in the switch video because it was running long, is copy run start is what you're going to want to do to save it into the startup config. So now we saved it. The other way to save is WR space M for write to memory. And it does it real quick. So copy run start or WR space M. So copy run start is the quick version. It's copy running config space startup config. And sometimes they make you write the whole thing out. Usually when a router or switch makes you write the whole thing out of that, I just type in WR space M, and that one always works. So, all right. If you have any questions, just send me an email, s.washer@rockvalleycollege.edu, or message me through Netacan. Have a great day.